My name is Steve Feinstein. My law firm is Feinstein and Fioravanti. The firm itself is a general practice firm. We do a lot of criminal work. We do a lot of insurance coverage, bad faith work, and a smattering of a lot of other things, such as drafting of wills, documents, contracts, et cetera, But our primary focus is on criminal work and insurance coverage litigation. I've been an attorney since 1985. My partner has been an attorney since 1989. We practice throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It's one of those things that I was sort of born into, not because I come from a family of lawyers. It's just, I've known I was going to be a lawyer since I was 8. I always tell this story, and as God is my witness, it is a true story. When I was about 8 years old, I was in elementary school, and I was one of those kids who would, I have the gift of gab, and I would, talk out of turn, and I would talk in line and whatnot. I remember very vividly getting sent to the principal's office because I was talking in line. It seems so funny now compared to what goes on in schools, but back in those days, you would get sent to the principal's office. And I remember very specifically defending myself on the basis that I had a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, and therefore they couldn't punish me for talking in line. I think that I was cast. I have what I consider to be a very unique talent among lawyers. Number one, there are people who are good in a courtroom. There are people who are good behind the screen of a computer doing things. And I'm fortunate enough to be good at all of those things. But the one skill that I have that I think separates me from other attorneys is both the innate ability to review a case and figure out what the most significant issue in that case is, the way to win that case that other people might overlook. And that is then coupled with my ability to communicate that with the client in a way that they understand and can walk away feeling that I understand the case and I understand how to win it. Now, obviously, it's not a guarantee to win, but it is where you can come up with the primary issue that you need to prove. And sometimes it takes a little longer, but usually I can come up with it within half an hour of communicating with the client, reviewing it, asking questions, and then figuring out what the case is going to turn on. Well, I think what I just described is one of my biggest strengths, but I write very well. I do research very well. I am strong in a courtroom. Believe it or not, I actually have some background in stand-up comedy, which has helped me, I believe, to connect with juries better. And again, going back to the issue about communicating with clients, the ability to convey a joke or a funny story to an audience has given me a way to figure out better ways to communicate with my clients. One of the biggest complaints you ever hear from clients is that they don't understand what their attorneys tell them because attorneys don't take the time to figure out how to communicate the best way with their clients. They always assume that they're talking with other attorneys, and that's a mistake that is made. I'm not saying everybody is. I think my ability to communicate both to a client and a jury or judge is, and to write, I write exceptionally well. There's two aspects to my personality in that regard. You have the intellectual aspect of going to law school, after having gone to college, and having that kind of education that sets me at a different level, but also with the ability to communicate with the average man. So I don't want that to come across as being condescending or talking down to anybody. It's just that I've seen it all the time where some attorneys, I shouldn't say all attorneys, some attorneys just have an inability to communicate with clients given their level of education and the fact that they have so much of their communications with other people with the same kind of education. And when you're talking with clients, you run the gamut, people who have no education at all, and then up to people who have better educations than you are, depending on what it is. But it's that two phases of my personality that allows me to communicate well with clients. I mean, I can tell you story after story about clients who, or people who have come to me not understanding what their clients have said to them, and then me explaining it to them in a way they do, and then sending them back to their original attorney. If I wanted to say it in one sentence, if there's a way to win your case, I'll figure it out.